one more thing for you here. This is another one of my bread and butter self-care things. People do not do enough self-massage. I'm telling you. No matter how good you are at cars, no matter how slowly you're doing it, it does not feel the same. You're not going to discover the same stuff as doing self-massage. So I'm going to show you a couple techniques. You can work all the way up and down your arm. Just really simple stuff. Maybe you already know what you're doing. Maybe you've never tried before. I'm going to treat you like you've never done this before. I'm just going to keep squeezing like this. I'm going to squeeze, squeeze. I'm bringing my palm and my fingers towards each other. I'm just going to come up and down the arm. And then work the bottom side. Up and down. You can work in the hand. I like for the hand to just kind of hold and rub my thumb across. You can work down your fingers, and I just like to kind of grasp and inchworm my way down, like I'm rubbing a cigarette together or trying to, I don't know. I don't know what this would be. Exactly, okay? And just feeling all the sensory endings. So you kind of pinch the ends of your fingers too, between your thumb and that. It kind of feels really cool. And there's a lot of sensory organs there. I just like to do this. So then you can also brush. Just brush down, firm pressure, nice and even on both sides. Let's try the other side. You can work down and up maybe. I'm going to do that same squeeze. Up, and then I can do the bottom. Just squeezing in. Okay, to the hand, grasping, just working that, getting to the end of the limb here, working that thumb across the palm, and then just kind of rubbing between the pointer finger and that, and maybe do a little pinch at the end and peel off. Rub, 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 pinch, snap. Rub, 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 pinch, snap. Rub, 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 pinch, snap. And back of the hand too. And wiping both sides. Cool. Now, go ahead and do a flat palm. So something for the chest to be better off is just flat palm circles. Now, something you can play with this. If you see the way my skin is moving, right? If I pull down, not a lot of movement. If I come up, more movement. If I come this way, movement. Come this way, movement. So down doesn't have a lot. So what I can do is to try to open that up. I'm going to pin down a spot and work circles. So I'm pinning down a tight area and working circles off of that to try to get a good amount of stretch through the tissues. I can try both directions, or I can just do fingertips, making circles. Don't be afraid to work all the way around the pec. It's one of the most surprisingly sore areas on people. Calves, butt, and chest are amazingly sore on people, and they don't even know. But right across that breastbone, if you notice any spots where you're bringing like the whole company with you, like everything's moving with you, like why is this dragging from over here? So I might hold that down and work on trying to get more openness and stretch in that tissue without hurting anything, just working it nicely, okay? And to the other side. Again, if I notice any lines of tension in any particular directions, I can hold stuff down and work my circles. Just trying to keep a nice flat contact with the fingers. 4 fingers is what I was trying to say there. All the way around the pec. And then I can also do the collarbone here. Okay? So when I'm coming up to the neck, I like those flat fingers to just kind of come up, dragging circles up the neck. And play with different positions of the neck. Will feel different. This is great for lymph. Just working on those sides. You can do that same squeezing motion that we did before on the traps, where I just grip behind and squeeze. What's up? You're good. Minor interruption. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze on there. Okay, I can also do kind of hooking in, hook, and then pull. See, I hook my 4 fingers in, and I pull my elbow down. Hook fingers in, pull the elbow down. Hook and pull. Hook and pull. Hook and pull. Hook and pull. And I can also combine this with pinning any area down and working motion. And that might feel really good for you, okay? Working up here, I can rub the ears, get all that stress out, okay? I'm gonna go back to the other side. And here, I'm gonna start off with my squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay, I can go into my circles, up and down, changing the neck position. And then I can find my hook, 4 fingers. And look, I'm not pulling here, I'm just keeping this stiff and pulling the elbow down. So once I've hooked in, the hand just stays still and the work is done by the weight of the elbow dropping down. Try a bunch of different areas. Hook, pull, hook, pull, hook, pull, hook, pull. Okay? Play with motion. All these kinds of things. You can also play with the other side. Neck stuff, back, while you're doing all that. Okay? So that's number 1, is just doing self-massage in a couple different ways. Number 2, I'm going to show you here. I have a jar of coconut oil. And I like to do that without a lotion a lot of times. You could use lotion if you wanted to, but I actually like to be able to see what's going on with the skin slide. And if I just am sliding over the skin, like if I have lotion, like you'll see in a second here, like I'm not getting the same kind of tissue motion that I am when I'm pushing down to a layer. You can play with how lightly you do this. I can just do surface stuff. I can go down deeper, and it's just going to move different things, right? It's a big part of FR. So I have coconut oil. You can use any kind of oil that works for you. And I have silicone cups. So these puppies, right? Here's how they work. I'm going to take some oil, warm it up in my hands. It's always a little more than you think you need. And I'll show you just here. And then I'm going to use a little bit on the inside lip of the cup. Now with a silicone cup, what I can do is I'm going to pull in and depress. So I'm pushing this in to create suction, and I'm pulling up a lip. So when I do this on myself, I'm keeping one lip open so that the air can escape as I push the air out, and then it stays. It's sucking that up there, right? Now, if it's a little too tight, like you took a little too much air out, I can just let a little air out. Or if I need more, I can just open the lip and contract a little more. Now, the crazy thing about this is you can rub this all around. You can do it over your rib cage. You can do it as many places. It's probably a shoulder mobility workout just doing it. But you'll find you'll be pushing it along and sliding and just lifting these tissues. It's almost like, see that? How it kind of like lifts it up? It's like opening the layers of lasagna almost. And it gets fluid through there. It helps open things up. It's amazing. It feels so good, okay? If it hurts, obviously don't do it. And you can also, of course, consult a medical professional. But you can buy these off of Amazon. If I remember to, I'll include a link for the ones that I have. But they're pretty simple. You can, excuse me, let's put a little more lotion over here. So a little more oil. And what you'll be doing is you'll slide along, and you feel like you're doing the exact same amount of pressure. Actually, here's an example of it. And when I got to this spot, I'm doing the exact same amount of pressure. It just stops moving. And you're like, ew. And what it means is like stuff's stuck there. Stuff's stuck together. So I will do that little like, just kind of play with it, or I'll just let it sit there for a little bit. Work on my breathing. Work on expanding it. And I can also stretch. What this is doing, it's pulling the skin up and into it, right? So that I have a pre-stretch of the tissue. So any stretch I add on top of that is just going to be that much more gravy. I'm going to get that much more motion through it. So I might do some dynamic movement. Playing with this. I might stay there and kind of do little circles. It's starting to loosen up a little bit. I might just let it hang out there for a bit. If I get another cup, and I have all different sizes, let's pull out a couple of small ones here. Again, I'm going to lotion the lip a little bit. I can do a couple of different spots, or maybe I have one stuck because I found a stuck spot, and now I'm going to go sliding around with this guy to just kind of, it's like, feels like vacuuming. It's so good. It feels so good. Oh my god. And yeah, so this stuff isn't so stuck over here. But maybe you find a line of tension and you want to stick it on both. Like maybe it's across your back and you can have somebody help you, right? Do this around your shoulder blades, just gradually communicate. Communication is key, letting them know a little more, a little less, a little slower, whatever, all these things, okay? And up. Now it's starting to move a little bit. Kind of seeing, and it might be also direction specific, like maybe moving just like I showed with the skin slack before, like maybe going side to side is fine, but going up and down is not fine. Now this is, I can see how much tighter it is kind of in the center piece here. I'm just going to work that out and play. So yeah, go drop 20 to 40 bucks on a set of a bunch of different sizes of these things and play with it all day. It's stuck all over you. It feels like hope. That's what it feels like. Amazing. Right? So this can be the most valuable thing that you have in this thing. Do your cars with this stuff on. Oh my god. I have you can do yoga with this stuff on if you're into that. You can do anything. So I'm gonna go work on this, and maybe you're inspired, maybe you're not. Hopefully you at least did the self-massage thing, and you can do this stuff anytime, right? You can be the office weirdo even more than Brian and I are also already encouraging you to be. So don't stop smiling. Keep working on yourself. You're making everything better every day. Do stuff that feels good. We love you, and hopefully I will, as I've been saying in these videos, so I can't wait to hear your success stories. So feel free to email us anytime. All right, take care.